Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Gwent video. How are you doing? I'm Furo and I will show you today another Monsters Consume video because you guys asked for it, so I will show you one. This one is the deck list that I'm currently running. I'm at the moment place 400 on the leaderboard, around that, with an MMR of 4,300 points, so not too shabby I would assume. And the deck list should be well known. There's nothing unusual here in the deck. You might wonder why I'm playing the Eredin instead of the Dragon, which is more used in Consume most often. But I like the Eredin a bit more. And the Dragon, you can swap that in if you're facing a lot of weather decks. But if you're facing a lot of weather decks, then Consume monster deck is not the right choice anyway. So it would, with the Dragon, you would be a bit stronger against the weather decks. But in general, the Consume deck is not that good against weather anyway. So you might want to swap the deck if you're just facing weather after weather after weather. So that's my opinion. You might know that I'm playing every class, every faction on the ladder, but the most success currently I have with Consume monsters and also weather monsters. So these are very strong at the moment, and funny enough that weather is countering Consume hard. So if you're just facing Consume, then you might just swap into weather and so on. Other than that, I would say the deck list should be pretty obvious. Instead of the giant toad, you could, for example, run the spearman, which is this one here. Old spear tip asleep. Add 1 strength to all other non-god units in the row. Whenever there are 3 or more units on the opposing row at the end of the turn, transform into old spear tip awake, which is an 8-point unit and is removing 2 strength from all non-god units on the opposing row. And he's just swapping off and on, depending on how many units are on the opposing row. So instead of the giant toad, you can play that if you like that more. Otherwise, deck is pretty solid, I would say. You might want to swap the Yennefer if you don't like that. And instead, there are a few options. Could, for example, play the Avalach here. Could play an Imlarith if you like that. Just go for Geralt for 12 points. But normally, Yennefer or the Avalach are the ones that are the most played. Also, Triss Marigold is sometimes useful from time to time. Not sure about that in general. I like the Yennefer a lot at the moment, but that might change with the new patch that is coming in a few days. But also with the patch, Consume might be dead, because then the Nekkers are not broodable anymore, and right now they are broodable, and that's why you can use the Monster's Nest on the Nekkers. Then you're spawning 3 base copies of the Nekkers, because right now they are broodable. And then you're just consuming all your stuff, and the Nekkers are just getting stronger and stronger. And because you played the Nekker Warriors, that is creating 2 copies of a bronze unit into your deck, you are just spawning more and more Nekkers for the next round. So in general, you are trying to either win the first round and then just stall a bit on the second round and then drop on the last round a lot of Nekkers with the Monster's Nest here. Or you're trying to brute force at the first 2 rounds and win that. The Chiron is an essential card in this regard, because if you have a lot of Nekkers on the board, then the Chiron will just buff all the Nekkers on the board, and you are consuming 3 units, and then the Nekkers are all getting buffed. And of course, this will also help you against weather, because if the Chiron consumed all the high and strong units, then your opponent can't target them with weather, so that's pretty good. Anyway, that's the deck, should be well known, and we are now playing bit on the ladder. So we are currently at 4.3k MMR. Hopefully we can improve that a bit, and then I will be qualifying for the Challenger tournament. So the cut is just in 3 days, and I hope I can make it. So now guys, we will see some gameplay. Let's go. Game 1, and we are facing King Bran here for the start, which is a discard deck, and that is normally a very favorable matchup, so I'm not too worried about that. We have too many Crones here, so let's drop the 7 points Crone. We get a Ghoul. We have 2 Ghouls here, Nekker and Monster's Nest. No Nekker Warrior, so that might be problematic. We need, well, for the giant toad, we need more units, so we might just keep those. And maybe either drop the Monster Nest or the Commander's Horn here. Probably the Monster Nest. So Commander's Horn would also be, that's difficult. Let's go for the Commander's Horn. Let's drop that. Getting the Katakan instead, which is also very nice. There's a war longship, so he will drop a lot of stuff here. Could be problematic. We could just go for the Crones. And then let's see what else is happening. That is right from the start. 22 points on the board. If he's using the King Bran effect, there you go. Then the War Longship alone, because he only has 1 on the board, is only dealing 6 points of damage. That is alright. And depending on what he's snatching out of the deck, he might not get that many points, so we would still be ahead. If he's, for example, playing with Morkvark and the OLGIERD, we can just take the OLGIERD here with the Caretaker. We could just consume that with the Katakan, with the Ghoul, stuff like that. There's one Raider, there's another one. Ooh, and one card in the graveyard, which is a pirate. Interesting, there's no Morkvark, but he's dropping a pirate into the graveyard when you can play that just later and get the pirates anywhere in the graveyard. That's very interesting. I'm not sure what his plan is here. We're definitely not too interested in consuming that much. We could just eat the pirate, of course, then he's not getting that later, and the Ghoul would be 10 points, which is not that cheap. Only 1 point ahead here. Yeah, let's go for the Ghoul. Let's just take the 10 points. Makes that 5.26 to 15, so 11 points advantage. There's Hermione. Drawing another 2 cards. You also get the Roach out of the deck. And he's discarding 2. Let's see what these 2 are. Could be interesting. Maybe he had the OLGIERD, for example, in the end, or the Morkvark. Definitely a possibility. So that were 2 units, and there is the OLGIERD. And the Skirmisher. Great success. And with the Caretaker, we are taking care of the OLGIERD. Getting that on our side, that's a lot of points over the curse of the game, so definitely not bad. And if we play another Ghoul, we can just eat the Skirmisher as well, so that one would be gone as well. There's a CD Dash. Currently we are 1 point ahead. CD Dash is then going in the graveyard and spawning back into the deck and getting 3 points stronger, so he's going for that. 9 cards still left in the deck, but with all his discard card and draw cards, he's definitely drawing his whole deck, so that's not a problem for him. We are now getting rid of the Skirmisher. We're doing that with the Ghoul because that's the only card right now in the graveyard, so we're definitely eating that. The Ghoul is then getting buffed to 10, which is dangerous if he is playing with Geralt Igni, but he's definitely playing with the Fiona Bran here, which will be his 3rd gold card. So the only unknown gold card is the 4th one. Could be a Geralt Igni, but could also be other stuff like Coral maybe, Geralt Art, stuff like that. Normally it's not happening because he will go for Fiona Bran, and the last one is most likely the Geralt Igni. But from time to time, your opponent will surprise you. Anyway, we're definitely currently 4 points ahead. We are definitely eating the 10 points here, just in case. And also we're getting 16 then for the next round. That's not too bad.
I shan't let you down.
Onrik is drawing 1, discarding 1. And that was Armor Smith, pirate. Don't think we need the Katakan here, so we might just use the Giant Toad and draw another card. Otherwise there is not much to do. We can go for the Eredin, that would be 11 points. Currently only 4 points ahead, so we definitely need to play more if we want to take down the round here. I would say we're going for the Giant Toad. And we're dropping the Katakan. No need for that apparently right now. Already got the OLGIERD, we get a Ghoul. That's also very decent. There is Alzur Thunder maybe? Alzur Thunder on the Giant Toad. Oh, he's conceding. So apparently our first opponent was a bit afraid, but that's not holding up for playing more games. So let's go for another one. And again we are going against King Bran. This time we have a Nekker Warrior. We are dropping 1 Nekker here. Have 1 Crone. Giant Toad, Katakan. That's all very good. First Light might be useful if he's playing with Cold and Geralt Art. Can't be sure. And I would say for now we're dropping the Commander's Horn. Getting another Monster's Nest. 2 is a bit too much for the start. Let's drop 1. And we're getting the Caretaker, so pretty good. There's a War Longship, which is decent. So he's playing maybe already the King Bran next round. Next turn, if he's not playing another War Longship. Another War Longship is very dangerous, then it's a lot of damage. Let's start with the Crones. Get the 22 points on the board again. Always a great start. There is another War Longship. So that can be dangerous. Can be dangerous indeed. So I would say we go for the Ekkimmara here. And we're eating the... the 8 points. Go for the 8 points. He's hitting us anyway with the double war longships, so these are not staying at 7 points. See what he's discarding. There is the Morkvark. And 1 Raider, and that's it. Okay, there's 1 card left in his graveyard, which is the OLGIERD. So again, we are snatching that with the Caretaker. Getting the OLGIERD. Never bad. Interesting that the Crones were all different. So now both at 3. As the Pirates doing more damage. Currently 4 points ahead. But we have 1 more card, so that is not bad. We could just drop the Eredin here, that would be 11 points. But for now, let's go for the Nekker and the Nekker Warrior first. With that, you make sure that the Eredin is your last card to play. That's Ermion, he's drawing 2, discarding 2. So more damage from the war longship is coming. And he's also dropping the Raider. Still, we are still playing a bit more, but we're not winning the first round here. Buffing the Morkvark. No. Right now we have 1 more card. We are just passing. So let's just keep the Nekker Warrior here on board. He's 1 card in disadvantage. Oh, that's not too bad. And just win the second round here. Nekker Warrior is of course staying on the board. He's keeping the Morkvark. We are then also spawn Nekker and the OLGIERD out of the graveyard. So right from the start, a little bit advantage. We have double Monster's Nest, so that can be interesting. Unfortunately, right now there is no... playing the Donna Ender. There is no Chiron. Would be very good to get that. Drop the last war longship, so these are all in the graveyard now. All the pirates are in the graveyard. 1 Shieldsmith, 2 Shieldsmith. Alright. 25 to 7 points. We might just go for the giant toad here and we will drop the Katakan. We don't need that here. Not anymore. Got the Commander's Horn. Okay. There's the 3rd Shieldsmith. And we'll now drop the Eredin, which is another 11 points on board. Would only be problematic if he's playing with Scorch, but that is not used that often. He's going for the Gavaldikni. So the Eredin is just going down. That means he's playing with Ermion, with Gavaldikni. We can expect to also see maybe Bernard Brown here. And then he could play with the Theory Dash. So far we haven't seen the card. 4 cards to go. Could be. Let's just play the Ekkimmara. And we will eat the Donna Nida. So the Ekkimmara is staying for the next one. 17 points. Currently far ahead. Question is only how far he will go. Because if it's getting worse, we can just go for the Monster's Nest here. There is Bernard Brown. For the last card. Might be the last gold card, might be Siri Dash. We're spawning a Clan Rider. 24 to 56 right now. If we are playing the Monster's Nest. And of course we are not keeping the Ekkimmara for the last round. So that is helping him for sure. But the rest of the cards we could go for Commander's Horn. But if we want to play the Monster's Nest, I definitely like to play the Commander's Horn. How many silver cards you have played so far? Only the Donna Nida. Only 1, so the Griever might be there, Restore might be there if he's playing that. Of course, and the Mork. Oh wait, the Mork and the OLGIERD as well. I'm stupid. Okay, so that will be 3 then. Okay, we are trying with the Monster Nest. Go for that. We are spawning 3 more Nekkers on the board. So reducing the amount of points we can get for the next round. Let's see if he's still going further. If that's the case, there is another silver card. If that's the case, we are dropping the Commander's Horn here. And he was dropping... that can't be right. He has already dropped the war longship. That's strange. Oh, he was dropping the Siri Dash. 2 cards to go. Then should be the Siri Dash. Exam, the last gold card is Siri Dash. That's good to know. We will now play the Commander's Horn. And that should definitely give us a victory in the round. There you go, he's passing now. We will also pass, of course. We are keeping the 7-point Nekker card here on the board. And we will spawn more Nekkers out of the deck. And we can use the monster nest. Also, of course, the OLGIERD is spawning again. Makes it 7-6-5-5. And a 5-point OLGIERD, which is then down to 3. We got a Ghoul, which is super good, because we need a consume card to buff all the brutable units. Only problem is that we have less cards. So if he's using the weather effect for the last round, for the last turn, and then just a Geralt. I don't have Geralt art, right? He has playing the CD Dash, so there is no weather effect in his deck. So there is no Aeromancy. We've seen 3, 4. The Griever is in his deck. So we're only missing 1 silver card here. That should be doable. Could be the last silver card, could be the D-Bomb. There's theory. And because if the last silver card is a D-Bomb and he has that in his hand right now, there's still 1 card to go. Then that could be problematic. We have no Chiron, we can't eat all the Nekkers here. Oh, that might be really problematic. Go for the Ghoul first. Eating 6 points. So some thumping out of our graveyard. Nekkers are all getting buffed. There's the Reaver. And he's picking up Smith. Yeah, there you go. Buffing the Morkvark. Unexpected. That makes it 15 points advantage right now. But if he's playing the D-Bomb, then all the units here are getting down in points. It's not too great. There's a rally effect. Another Ghoul. And this one was getting 7 points. So probably a War Longship. Otherwise, oh yeah, it was a Shieldsmith. Still has 1 to resurrect that. And now we can get rid of a lot of points here because he was getting another Shieldsmith. So Geralt Igni, last card, getting rid of 14 points. Very important. But still, if there is a D-Bomb, there's no Roach, because otherwise the Roach would have spawned by the CD Dash, for example, or earlier. Oh, it's just passing, so we're winning that as well. Our next opponent, and that will be also the last game for today's video, is playing Out of It. And Out of It is interesting, especially with triple Crones here. So he can be dangerous for the monster deck. And we get out of the Crones, we're getting 2 gold cards. That's really good. We have double Nekker Warriors, no Nekker so far. So normally I like double Nekker Warriors, but can't keep those without another Nekker. So we will just drop 1. And getting the Katakan. Not super happy with that. But hopefully it is still working out. So we are starting with the Crones for the 22 points. That's always your best start, of course. Dantelion. Interesting. This one is buffing all the units he's playing, right? Yeah, it was changed with a NILFGAARD patch. Before that he was a bit strange and also buffing our units. So he might play a lot of small units then, and that are getting buffed by the Dantelion, maybe? We'll see. We could kill that here with the other Thunder. But because we have such an advantage, we will just pass here. And let's see how many cards he wants to invest. He wants to invest 0 cards. He's just passing as well. So we're keeping the 8 points from the Crone. Winning the first round. He's dropping the Dantelion. And just get another Nekker Warrior. Ah, there's a Nekker. Great. So we can just easy peasy grind here this round. Let's drop a Nekker. We are going for the double Nekker Warriors. Reinforced Siege Tower. This one is getting buffed whenever there's a gold card appearing on his side. Now normally you play this one in the Hansel deck, because there it is stronger. Another Siege Tower. Alright. Still behind. 21 to 8 points. Triple Siege Tower. That's getting interesting. That's definitely getting interesting. So there's a Dantelion. We could just eat that with a Katakan. Might be useful. We're not sure if he's really interested in getting that out of the graveyard. I haven't seen that deck in action so far. Dantelion and Siege Towers. Would be very interesting. If you're just passing here, he still needs to get 9 points. He could just do so with 1 gold card. And these are getting buffed all by 2. And the gold card is of course more than 3 points worth. So that's good for him then. But still, we don't need to. We don't need to continue here. We can just pass, and he's playing another card. And starting the last round, and we have 1 card advantage. I would say that's good enough. Also, we are keeping the 5 points here. Ah, he's going for the promote. Well, that's more than he needs to. Could have played a single gold card as well. But promote is good for him. Now needs to start. Gives us an advantage. Also, we are keeping 1 unit on board. We are spawning a Nekker. And he has 1 card less, so that's also good. Giant Toad, another card to draw. And we might get a Monster's Nest. This would be very good. Margarita is spawning a Banner Adept whenever a gold card appears on his side. So again, I like these cards more in the Handled deck. Don't like that too much out of it, although you can of course play that, but in Handled it's stronger because the Handled is spawning more gold units, then the Margarita is spawning more Banner Adept. Anyway, we have the Elder Thunder, so with that we could just kill the Margarita. And then we can eat it with the Katakan, because he's definitely trying to resurrect that. I'm going for the Chani. So he's resurrecting her right away. Margarita is coming. And then whenever now a gold card appears, Margarita is giving that Banner Adept. So we are going for the Giant Toad. And let's get rid of the Ekkimmara. As a Ghoul, we might still want to use the Katakan on one of his units. For example, Priscilla would be nice. Unfortunately, there is not real a chance to kill that. So that's good. We are now going for the Yennefer. Should give us a lot of value because the round is still going on for a longer time. There's the elite. So he might spawn more elites. If he's getting 2 more elites, good, so with the reinforcement. And he's also spawning 3 Banner Adept. And he might have a promote as well. So far there was only Dantelion as a silver card, Priscilla and the Margarita. So he might play with the reinforcements. Definitely possible. Do we want to... no, we are waiting. So let's just drop the Eredin for now on the board. Currently 4 points ahead. Killing the Yennefer, finally. It was 1 turn too late, maybe. Could have killed that 1 turn earlier. Then the Ghoul is eating something. 7 points. That might be problematic. Both units at 11 points. So he was eating the Crone. And there's another elite. We can, with the Geralt Igni here, we can get rid of 12 points. That might be very good. Not sure if we can get another kill with the Geralt Igni. If he's spawning another elite here at the back, they are just going to golden, so we can't kill those anyway. I would say Geralt Igni for 12 points is good. Let's do that. Gives us a nice little point advantage here and still 1 more card to play.
I told you so, you idiot.
Weavess Guard, there's the 3rd elite coming. So these are going to golden, and because these are now all golden, the Margarita is spawning some adepts. Still, we have 1 more point. And we have decent stuff to play. So I would say we are going for the Katakan now. We'll also just play the Chiron and saving our points. Because these are all at 11 if he's playing a Scourge. Otherwise the Katakan needs to be higher than 11 points. That is not happening. Now then we're going for the Chiron. Let's save the points. This one is going down. The Ghoul is going down. And also the Eredin is going down. So Chiron is at 41 points. The Nekker here is at 8, getting buffed by every time we're consuming. Okay, there was a reinforcement. Yeah, okay, it's understandable. The Reaver Scout wasn't able to get another unit out anyway, so it wasn't really necessary to play the reinforcement. Makes sense, but that means normally that he's just losing now. We can, for example, play the Katakan here. We can eat some stuff like the 11 points. So that makes it 17 points on the Katakan. Buffing the Ghoul as well. And the last card is a Yennefer, and that shouldn't be good enough for him. Let's see. That's still a lot of points. Good enough. 85, 87, one more point. But we have the commanders on, so we are winning the last game as well. Let's go for that. So let's just pass and the game is over. GG guys. Thank you all for watching and I hope you have enjoyed the deck and the video. If you have, give me a subscribe or a thumbs up, that would be very nice. And see you then in the next one. Have a nice day and goodbye. Ooh.